Hey, Angie.
Oh gosh, I already know. I already know. Hi, Eric. How are you?
All is good. All is well. I'm all right.
Happy
Turn this
New
up a little.
Year.
I know, right? Happy New Year to you too. Like
Thank
it's
you.
it's crazy how 2024 just kind of ended so quickly. It was like, what the hell? Before you know it, it's 2025, and I'm like, oh man, I ain't ready. I don't know if you ready or not, but I ain't ready. But guess what?
No,
We gonna keep going though.
this train gonna keep on rolling.
And 100%,
Yes,
100%.
yes,
Um, I am recording, but we just kind of messing around right now. We ain't really.
yeah.
I wanted you to kind of get yourself together some more. If you you good or
I'm good. I think I'm good. How's the lighting? I mean, I'm not sideways on the couch. I'm
I
not
know, right?
sideways on the couch, but I mean, I
And
really
you should
should
see
have
this
though. I
too.
really should have just went sideways on the couch to make it to go with the theme.
I know, but it's cool though. It's cool because I got to have you on here at least once a month or once every other month or something like that, and talk
Well,
some freaking
we
stuff.
both podcast. We've been doing this for a long time. My blog, you got me into blogging because you were like, "Hey, you write poetry? Let me just put one of your things on my website." And I would send you something every once in a while. So yeah, we've been doing this, back and forth. Resident
Right.
family member of the show.
Family member. Right. You family of the show. You got the
Oh
keys and all.
yeah,
So you got house
that
keys and
part.
everything. So, but yeah, you're right. I forgot all about that. Cause
Mm-hmm.
I forgot all about the fact that that I kind of helped contribute to doing something that you
Yes.
were already comfortable and familiar with doing. I mean, you
Yes.
just right, so it is what
But
it is.
you have this thing where you are such a great encourager. Like it could probably be trash to everybody else, but you're like, nah, you see the beauty in it. Like you're like, nah, this is good, and you're very good at what you do.
Well, I try to be. I try to showcase the shit beyond the gold, right? And so, or the
Yeah.
gold beyond the poo. So that's what I try to do. You saw how I kind of cleaned
I
it up. I forgot.
Yes. I
I forgot
never
that
heard that before.
the goal is to not you can't curse for like what 3 minutes. If you want to put it on YouTube and get monetized, that's what
Oh.
the rumor is. It's like if you can kind
You
of
got to get deep into the show first before you
get deep
start
into the
doing
show,
yeah.
dropping F bombs or S bombs and stuff like that. You don't want to do that when you're like when you're like 30 seconds into the content or whatever.
Gotcha.
But
And you see, I didn't know it was 3 minutes or more in. I just knew that it was deeper
into the conversation, yeah, it's
into the content. Yeah.
so much stuff about this YouTube thing, and I've been, me, you know me well, and whenever I dig my hands and my fingers into or my nails into something, I'm all in with it, right?
Yes, you
So
are.
I've countless nights up watching YouTube videos on how to go from 0 to 1,000 subscribers in like 24 hours, and I'm like, come on now, like, oh, a lot of it is clickbait. I won't even lie to you, but
Mm-hmm. Well,
there
you
are a
did
few.
something right.
I know, right? Because I'm at what, as of this recording, I think I'm at like 500 and
Yeah,
something.
I
So
saw that when I watched the other video. I said, "Well, now look at you. Go ahead
I'm
on."
trying, yo. I am trying because at the end of the day, I feel I'm just playing with it, and
Yeah.
it's not like And one of the videos that I noted, that I saw was how they said to if you want to be monetized, which I mean, monetization is a goal, which you and I talked about, and you gave
Mm-hmm.
me some really good information on that and good insight too. But when it comes to monetizing, um, you want to like take it serious, take it like it's a job and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, I take everything like a job, but in all honesty, I just want to kind of play around with this.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you believe that the one time I decide to play around with it is the one time I'm starting to gain some traction. So it's like,
That
I'm fine with it. I'm cool
that
with it.
part.
Right. I'm cool with it 100% because I think that
Right.
because at the end of the day, it's just, I'm just talking about something that I'm familiar with, and I'm talking about something that I'm comfortable with, and I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about something that I'm addicted to. As you can see, my bag, my box of basket of. I have
Well,
a
what they
problem,
don't know is you
Angie.
had way more than that. You sent me a
I
bunch.
did. I did. I
So you've been
did.
doing this for a
Oh, I
while. Yes.
did.
The commodity ones, you sent me Galleon, I think it was.
Yep. Oh, Gallivant. Yeah. Yeah.
Gallivant, yes. You sent me
Oh, I forgot about that one.
you sent me a few different ones. You sent me the La Sable, La Label, what is it called? And
Oh,
you
Le
sent me three
Labo.
of those. Le Labo, yeah. You sent
Mm-hmm.
me three of those. It was the Santal. And I think I like the Santal. That's why I remember that one. But yeah, you sent me three of those. You sent me the Bond number 9s. You sent me three of those. You sent me a good bit of a sample size since.
Damn. I did not realize that, yo.
Before this was even a thing.
Right.
Sample size since, yes. You sent me, I don't know, maybe 30, because it was a lot from commodity. It was a lot from that brand alone. And then
Yeah.
the Gallivant one had maybe like 10, because it was 5 at the top, I think, and 5 at the bottom, or maybe 6. You sent me a lot.
Yeah, I do remember that now, the Gallivant
Yeah.
one, because one of
Mm-hmm.
my favorite scents actually from the Gallivant is Istanbul. That's one of the ones that I
Yes.
really love. It's
Yes, I
so
did
good.
too. I reordered them. And the order that I liked them in Istanbul was number 1. It was like the first one on the top row.
Hmm.
I like
Yep, it's
unisex
good.
scents though.
I know. Look, look, we all do, right? I mean, there's a market for people who like, fragrances that are specific to genders and stuff like that. But I'm
Yeah,
unisex. Give me
all
unisex
day,
all day.
all
I remember
day.
when I was younger. When I was younger, I remember someone mentioning to uh what was it not Versace, what was it, Dolce and Gabbana, light blue
Light
for
blue.
women, for women.
Mm-hmm.
And what they would say is, what the guy, I was working at a call center, and the guy he would always smell good. And I'm like, dude, what is that you got on? He said, Dolce and Gabbana light blue for women. And I'm like, for women?
Mm-hmm.
Why? He said, because I like how I smell. And I'm like, come on. Okay, dog. And I just kind of chalked it off as that or whatever. And then as I started kind of progressing more into my journey, my fragrance journey, I've been noticing that a lot of people will buy unisex perfumes. And then one
Mm-hmm.
guy, one YouTuber mentioned one of his favorite scents to wear was Dolce and Gabbana light blue for women.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Let me revisit it. And I ended up buying a bottle of it. And when I bought a bottle, I was like, damn, this stuff is so good. I started saying
And
like, yeah, this is good.
I just, when I say just, within like the last 2 or 3 years, just smelled light blue for the first time, and purchased it. And
Really?
yes, had never smelled it before, but I heard by
Really?
watching a lot of the videos that it was a good layering scent. So I was like, oh, well, let me buy it. And I got it for the low, like a very cheap price, very cheap price. So I couldn't pass it up. So, I mean,
I
like
want to find that.
less than, I got it from CVS, and I paid for like the CVS extra care. So
Hmm.
they used to get like 40 and 60% off like coupons or whatever. So I used
Right.
that on top of the $10 that they give you monthly, and I ended up paying like $21 for a bottle,
For a full bottle.
a full bottle. Yes.
Yo, I wanna try that one because it's been well over 15 years since I've tried that, since I've had it. So
Wow. I was
yeah,
definitely late to that party.
it was like 15 years when I bought it. And yeah, because it was in 2000. Yeah, it was around 2009 when I bought it. And when I bought it, I was like, yo, like it was, and it smelled really good. I didn't use all of the bottle. I ended up giving it away like I normally do, like a klutz. I just give it away.
No, you're such
And
a
so
blessing to people.
I think so. I believe I am.
Yes, you are.
Because a lot of times, because I'm out here, look, I'm out here doing the Lord's work, man. I'm giving
Yes, you
giving out
are.
good fragrances and stuff to people.
Yeah.
Um, which is the reason why we're talking today. Which, look, we've been on the phone for almost 10 minutes now, for over 10 minutes now, and I haven't even introduced the doggone
Already?
thing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're
Well,
good. You're
we
good.
had to catch up. We had to,
I know. I know.
this
It's
is what
been
we do.
we do this. Like you 100% correct about that, and we've been doing this for years. Okay,
Yes.
we've been knowing each other for over. it's been over a decade now,
Oh
because I want to
yeah,
say,
it's
yeah, it's been over a
almost about
decade.
a
It was like
20.
2002, was it 2013, I think? No, it was 2012, I think.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Was it?
I think
I think it
so.
was 2012. And it
It's been a
was,
long time.
yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a really long time, but I'm always appreciative of you, because you kind of do, like, I'm thinking
Yeah,
about
because
it too in my
it's gonna
head.
bother me, and I'm like, I'm not even about to look. But you're
Okay.
appreciative of me.
Yes, I am. 100%.
You are the brains of the operation. Everything that I have done and since I've known you has been because of you. Like you've kickstarted it in some type of way. So I'm appreciative of you because I wouldn't be here without you. I would probably still be somewhere just writing in my little journal, all my little stuff,
All your little stuff, I know, right? But
and
no,
never putting
it's
it out there.
this is all you, Angie, 100%. Like, I may have given you the thought to do it, or the idea to do it, and even
Hmm.
help contribute, some form of fashion or whatever. But it's you doing all the heavy legwork. You're the one that's creating the blog. You're the one that's creating the podcast. You know what I mean? You're the one that's doing the YouTube channel. You are the
Yeah.
reason why I'm getting into YouTube, and
Oh,
because
really?
oh,
Oh,
100%,
well, yeah, because
100%.
every time I do a video, you do comment and say
I comment
something.
on
I,
it, and I'm like, you
I
know what?
appreciate your support.
Yeah, and I just appreciate you for continuing to, continuing to be you, and continuing to have a voice, especially in the fragrance journey. Because
Yeah,
you and I are both in the same journey, right? Um, and we both have. There's so much to go with. You know what I mean? So many
yeah,
different scents, so many different fragrances, so many different ideas and
yes,
profiles, and it's just a lot, and I
a lot.
love every bit of it. I love every
And
bit of it. You know.
the it is very it's you would be nonstop. So in one of my last fragrance videos, I said, y'all, I'm not buying anymore because it can literally get out of hand. And granted, the Arabian scents or the Middle Eastern scents, they're not that expensive. They're $50 or less, depending on what you get into or whatever. But it does still become a lot when you're purchasing them every time. Oh, this one has these notes and these notes and these notes, and you know what you like. So it's like you can get caught up, and then it's like you got a whole collection, but you can only wear one or two at a time. I mean, unless you're
Right.
like a layering king or queen, you can only wear
Right.
so many at one time, and it's like they start to sit. And most of them, they do get better with age, but it's like you can't even really enjoy all of them because there's so many.
Well, and I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I mean, hence the reason why I got 60 or 70 of them, and I'm still buying more. Like you said, like it's so difficult to be able to keep uh 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 it's so difficult to be able to keep a certain amount, like keep to a certain threshold, but you can't keep to that threshold because you're going to end up smelling something else, or watching another
Yeah,
video, and someone else mentioning something, or watching it on social media.
yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's a little bit of an addiction for me, but
Oh, for
the
sure.
my yeah, yeah, and I'm okay. Hey, my name is Eric, and I have an addiction. So
Same. This is our
but
AA meeting.
right,
Or
for
our
real. Aromas
FA meeting.
Anonymous. No,
Yes. No, see what I'm saying? That's why you are who you are. Like, how did you come up with that? That's that fast. And I'm like, Fragrance Anonymous. Like, what?
Look, I may actually title this one. I
The
may
man
title
right
this
here.
the
Aroma.
anonymous aromas anonymous,
I
because
love it. I love it. Yes,
yo, we have a problem. We have a problem, yo, and I think
definitely.
the one thing I will say though, that I think you've mastered, is the ability to layer, because you mentioned that a few seconds ago about how you
Yeah.
layer projects and stuff,
Yeah.
or layer certain. I'm not there yet. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not bold enough. Like, I have one I have one fragrance right now that I do layer everything with, and that
Mm-hmm.
one is called Molecule O1 by Eccentric Molecules. Is
Yeah.
it
I've heard you
essential?
talk
Yeah,
about
eccentric.
molecules before.
Yeah, is this one is
Molecule.
Molecule O1. Yeah, and it's a all it is. It's an ISO Super. ISOE Super, which means it's just like an ISOE Super is an actual fragrance of its own, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's a very clean fragrance. This
Mm.
particular, the molecule or one or whatever is specific to for layering, and it works extremely well because what it does is it helps project whatever fragrance that you put on top of it. It helps
Yeah.
project it. Oh man, it smells so it
Yeah.
intensifies it and it enhances it. It smells really like I had a there was one that I had was which was actually a city on fire, the one that I just did a
That you
video
just.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a city on fire by imaginary authors, and I tried it not too long ago after I had did the video. I was like, you know what, this is my first time, let me smell it, whatever. Or I had revisited it or whatever, and I was like, well, you know what, let me just wear it one day, and I decided to
Mm.
wear it, and I put on the molecule 01 first, and then the a city on fire afterwards. Man, I smell like a burning, a, a charred wood for like all the entire day. I actually had to wash it off. Like I had to come home and wash it off because it had gotten so strong. It was like,
Really?
yeah, I was at work and I had to come back home because people were like, "Man, you smell like fire," and I'm like, "It's me." And I went to the bathroom or whatever, but I needed actual soap, so luckily I was not too far from the house, so I just came back home
Yeah.
and washed it off. But it projected like hell. So my
Oh,
point in saying
wow.
that is, I you are very well versed in that in layering, and I wanted to kind of talk to you about that. Like, what are some of your favorite scents to layer with?
So I'm still like a baby in this community, I think, because like
No,
when I
not at
talk
all.
about them, I don't give all the notes and stuff. I'm like I can detect, oh, that's a white floral. I can detect oud, I can detect like a powdery, the common ones, the musky, or I can
Yeah,
detect those.
yeah.
But when it comes to like knowing right off the bat like all of them, no, I can't. I have to Google them. I don't know it. But what I've learned with watching a lot of YouTubers is that if you have a scent that's too masculine, because I do like unisex scents, but if it's too masculine, add a vanilla, and that balances it out. And I'm like, what? I have a whole lot of unisex scents that are extremely strong, and then you add a vanilla scent to it, or a scent that is heavy in vanilla, and you smell like heaven. Like if you like that scent, the masculine scent, and then you add the vanilla to it, it makes it just a little bit more feminine, and it's perfect. And like I said, with the light blue, I learned that a couple of years ago, and so I just would spray the light blue, and then I would spray different scents on, because I like to switch it up each day. I wear something
Yep,
different each
yep.
day. So I would do the light blue and then spray something on it. And throughout the day, I'm doing like this and doing like this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't really, it's not. And then, oh, yeah, I like that. So then I know, okay, spray this. And then I'll reverse it. I'll spray the one that I like and then the light blue on top, just to see
Hmm.
if there's that much more of a difference, because, once it touches your skin, your chemistry kicks in. So it could be different if you put the light blue first and then the scent, or the other scent and then light blue on top of that. It could react differently. So I was testing and trying a lot. You hear me? Like a lot.
That's actually not a bad idea. That's not a bad
Mm-hmm.
idea at all. Um I like when you said that you reversed it, right?
Yeah.
Because you said initially you would put the light blue on and then whatever scent it was, and then you would reverse it and then put the scent on and then light blue on top of that.
Yeah.
I mean, was it much more of a projection like of a okay, let me ask this. Was it when you flipped it, did it
Mm-hmm.
still smell the same or did you begin to smell more of the light blue first?
The light blue definitely hit harder than some of the
Okay.
scents. But I think that overall, just to if I wrote them down and I had remembered all of the combinations, I would be able to give better numbers. But I think overall, the it was like 10 different scents each time. So if I did the light blue first and then five different ones on top of that, 5 different days, and then I did it
Hmm.
the other way, it was legit 10 different scents. They
Wow.
didn't compare. It was not the same at all. Like a little bit of the same, but the majority of it was different. It's like, did I do this combination already? Did I? No. No, because once you put the, a scent on your skin, your chemistry, your body, and your chemical makeup, I guess, or what is it called? What is it called?
Your makeup. No,
Your
your scent. Your
yeah,
profile. I like to call
your
it your own profile.
yeah. So certain things work with your profile, and this is kind of off topic, but I recently went to Macy's because they were having they may have been having a sale. Maybe I was just going there for whatever reason. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was talking to one of the sales associates and I was telling them, no, that's what it was. I was returning something that I had gotten in Vegas. So I returned it locally down here because I ended up getting home and I'm like, it didn't last long on me. I don't like it. And she was like, oh, it didn't work with your chemistry. And I was like, yeah, no, not at all. And she was like, you
Right.
didn't like it? I said, no, I love it. The smell of it, I just would have to spray it consistently all day long throughout the day to keep it on me. And she was like, yeah, it just didn't work with your chemistry. And I'm like, but if it projects or if it has like sillage or anything like that, it should be able to stay on my skin. Why wouldn't it stay? Like, do I have too much oil on me and it's not sticking, or do I have not enough oil? Like, is my skin and my body soaking it up? Like, what would be the reason if it's a perfume? Why isn't it
Mm-hmm.
lasting? Now, I see if it was a EDT, the toilette is not going to last that long because it's water based versus the oil based one. But what would be the reason it wouldn't last long? Same thing with Born
Yeah.
Aroma. I absolutely love Born Aroma, but it does not last long on me. What the?
Is that's the Valentino one?
Yes. It is heaven. It just does not last on me. Even if I put it on my clothing or on my skin, it just doesn't last. And I'm so glad I got the travel size bottle, because if I would have paid the 160 something, I think it is, I would have been
Mm-hmm.
peed off, because it doesn't last.
Well, and yeah, I would have been ticked off by that too. But you know what's funny about that is that there are certain fragrances nowadays that are starting off at $200, $300 or whatever, and they only last for like maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Um, what I would say to that is to layer it with if you have maybe like a petroleum, not petroleum jelly. I don't like to use petroleum jelly. I like to use more of like the coconut oil or
Yeah.
shea oil, shea butter or something like that. You
I've been
can
doing that.
layer it with that. Yeah, layer it
Yeah.
with that, and then it'll actually it'll project just a little bit longer. Not a lot longer, but just a little bit longer. So
Yeah.
is that Rocky in the background? That's my homie.
No, that's another dog. I cannot even believe that. It's like, go to bed. It's 7:52. Go to bed. I mean, it's late,
Yeah,
not
it's late.
late.
Yeah.
But I mean, go to bed. Why do you? I'm recording. I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
I mean,
y'all. I'm
no,
sorry.
Rocky is cool. I like Rocky.
And I had
Rocky is cool.
my enclosure up, but it is, I can't help it. I'm sorry, y'all.
Nah, you good.
Just a
You
little
want to go
background
10?
noise for y'all.
You want to go 10 to him real quick and we could take a quick break?
Oh, we could take a break. Yes, we could take a
Yeah,
break.
let's take a break. We'll be right back after these messages, y'all.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Eric. Thank you so much for continuing to rock with me and also continuing to check out the channel, Sample Size Sense. If you've made it this far, then that's a great thing, and I truly, truly appreciate you. But I do want to tell you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as post a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular video and other videos that's coming up pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that, for subsequent videos, as well as if you do like this sweater right here, I do have it available on my website, which is at ingolio.com/shop. Again, it's ingolio.com/shop. And I probably will put it right here or somewhere. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So let's get back to the video.
This is such a
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
even
This
know
thing
why
is
you attempted. What
hilarious.
you were counting for?
I
I've
don't
never
know.
heard you do a countdown ever. You
I
always
don't
just
know.
go straight into it. But you acting
I
brand
have no
new, Eric. You
idea.
acting
I
real new.
know. I need to stop. Well, no, it's not me. It's the actual camera. Like, it's the software that we're using is actually doing a countdown, and my dumb
Oh,
ass is counting down. Yeah, it's random, random. I don't know.
that is
Man. I'm random.
hilarious.
But okay, yeah, we back. I'm sorry.
Yes.
We are 100% back. I'm with Angie with the Sincerely Angie podcast, one of my
Because
great friends.
we never even, I'm sorry. We didn't even
I
do an
know
introduction. We just got
we
straight into
didn't.
it.
I know we so terrible, y'all. I mean, but this is how we do though, y'all. Like we've I don't know how many of these have we done so far? Like podcast
Oh,
episodes and just conversations and
and if
I
you,
don't
there's,
know.
do you have one or two on my channel? I think it's two that we have on my YouTube channel. Two videos. The one
Yes,
when we did
yeah.
it on, it's a smooth 20 per channel, like, combined with
Yeah.
podcast, YouTube. Now that's not even counting the blog posts that I've submitted to you and to your site, and
Oh man, that's
we
crazy.
in there like swim what, two creatives,
Yeah, we
I love you,
just
man.
creating. I know, right? I love you too, yo. These are the type of relationships and friendships that people dream to have.
Yes.
Both are creatives. Both are 100%. Just all in with whatever they choose to do. Addicted, obviously. Aromas Anonymous.
Yes.
Aromas
Yes.
Anonymous. Um,
Yes. I love
so
it.
we are, but overall, just really good, valuable friendships and relationships, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you for that. I really do.
I appreciate you.
I mean, who else am I going to talk all this cologne and perfume and eau de toilette and stuff to? Who else am I going to talk it to? I don't
I
have nobody
mean,
else to talk about with this.
well, I mean, you listening to those last two, is it 3 episodes now or 2? I think it's 2.
It's two
Two.
episodes.
Well, you did
This is
some
the second one,
shorts,
yeah.
so that's what I'm thinking. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so you know your stuff. So you gonna climb up that ladder real quick and leave me all by my lonesome down here.
Now I'm bringing you right with me because
You
we're
might
gonna
as
be
well,
like,
because I'm listening. I'm
this
like,
thing gonna
wait,
be an empire.
let me take down notes because I didn't know that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, that's the goal. The goal is to be able to open it up, to people having been nose blind, I like to say, to the designer fragrances, like the traditional designer fragrances. So
nose blind. I like that.
yeah, like people are like, everyone love like a Dior Sauvage, right? That's like probably one of the most popular men's fragrances there is right now. That and maybe what's the name of it? Chanel, Blue de Chanel, right? Everybody smells like that. It reminds me of when back in the early 2000s when Aqua di Gio first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in their mama smelled like literally everybody in their mama smelled like Aqua di Gio. And now people have gotten nose blind to those designer scents. Even if you go
Yeah.
on YouTube or if you go on like social media sites or whatever, you look at some of these people who actually do fragrance reviews and it'd be like the top 5 fragrances or whatever, and they're all the same thing.
Yeah.
Sauvage, YSL, all these different things or whatever. And I'm like, those are good, yeah, but there's so many other ones to choose from, like
Mm-hmm.
especially in the niche market. And what
Yeah.
I try to do is I try to like, whenever I'll send you something like, hey Angie, check this out. These are all niche fragrances, like,
Yes.
fragrances that I kind of stumbled upon and stuff like that. So, where are you with niche fragrances right now? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
I would love to get into them.
Mm-hmm.
This was about 3 or so years ago. You were telling me the different fragrance houses to try and to go to their site to do a discovery set so that you can smell them. And so I did the Montel and I ordered they didn't have that popular one that you wanted, that you told me to get.
Oh,
It was
it Instant Crush? No, it wasn't
I
Intense
had
Cafe.
Yeah,
I
they
think
didn't
was
have
it?
that. So I had like the Tonka, the Cherry, the Intense Cherry. I had to get the other one, so I didn't get the one that you had because they were sold out or of the sample size. But I did go through a phase where I'm ordering all of these sample sets and all of these
Mm-hmm.
little discovery sets. And it's like $25 here, $20 here, $20
Right,
here. And
right.
so what I do now though is I go to Sephora. And I know Sephora has, all of the big names. They don't have a whole lot of niche. May find one or two. But, well, let me say this. One day I went to to Nordstrom's in Vegas, and the guy, at one of the sales associates, he was like, try this. It was a Joe Malone, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's cool. I've smelled a few Joe Malones since. They have not, just won me over. And so I said, well, I'll come back, because he sprayed 3 different Joe Malones on me, and I loved it. The third, after he sprayed, he layered it. 3 different Joe
Mm-hmm.
Malones. He sprayed the third one. He was like, you like those 2? Now watch this. And he sprayed it on there. I did this. And I was like, but I don't want to have to buy 3 of the same brand fragrances to get this one scent. Like, it really blew
Right.
me away. And I'm like, that's $100 and something per bottle that I would have to buy 3 just to get this one, and I don't want to do that. Well, that was with that. He was like, so the guy said, there's other brands besides, the big ones. And I was like, yeah, I know. Cause I ended up going to a different, sales clerk or sales associate, and I ended up buying, Givenchy Irresistible. And so he was like, oh, you made a purchase. I was like, yeah, I got Givenchy or Givenchy, however they say it. I don't know. And so he was like, there are other brands beside. And I was like, yeah, I said, but this is what I liked. And I liked it at first sniff. Like, and that's how you get me to buy it. If I like it at first sniff, well, I'm gonna let it, I'll let it sit, because you gotta let it sit a
Right.
while to see. If I like it at first sniff, I'm sold. And that's the same thing that happened with Jimmy Choo. I Want You. The lady, she sprayed it on the thing. I said, I'll come back. And because I kept sniffing it as I was right there. And I was like, oh, I like that. I said, I'm going to come back. I walked in the mall, got what I went there for, came back to the counter. And she was like, oh, people don't usually do that. And I was like, what? And she was like, oh, nothing. I guess she meant people don't normally come back when they say they're going to come back. But I liked it. So if I like it, I'm going to buy it. You don't have to go through all of those hoops and hurdles to sell it to me. So back to the niche. The niche is I think it's a better way to go, because you won't smell like everybody else. It's just getting out of the market of those popular ones that are, that are very popular, because they literally smell good.
They do. They
The
really
niche
do.
ones smell good as well. You just got to open your mind up to it. You got to try them out and give them a chance. They put just as much love and care as the designer fragrances. It's just they're not sold in the big brand stores. You have to go to certain places to get them, or order them straight from the site and stuff. So,
Right. I agree with that. I think, and that's what a lot of people choose not to do. They choose not to have to deal with going to the, finding a niche fragrance house, because as you said earlier, there are a lot of them to choose from, right?
yes.
There are a lot of them to choose from. And, the only way you'll know if you like it is if you actually try it. And if you try it, then, you can go on and get it or whatever, because they do place just as much conviction and passion in their fragrances,
Yes.
like, as the designers do. One of the cool things I do like about a Nordstrom, or sometimes Macy's too, is that sometimes they'll have niche fragrance houses there.
Yeah.
Like, they won't have obviously the Tom Ford. Can you even say Tom Ford is a designer? Is it a designer fragrance house, or is it a niche fragrance house? Because their stuff is.
That's a good
know.
question. But, maybe they're not more designer now, because I don't know. I don't know.
Because when you think, when you think designer, I think YSL, I think the Dior, I think the Chanels, I think the Valentinos and stuff like that. You were mentioning Born Aroma with Valentino, although that one, I don't really consider that one designer, because it's not really a lot, but there aren't a lot of them to choose from, but it's kind of still in that market. Like, I view designer as anything that you can buy from Ulta, right? Or anything that you can buy from, not necessarily Sephora, because Sephora sometimes has niche, but anywhere you can buy from Ulta, from, Kohl's, or from Belk, or somewhere like that. Those are Dillard's or something like that. But when it comes to Macy's, or Saks, or Nordstrom, they'll have those high end fragrances. So, and I saw that look that you made when I said Born Aroma.
And the thing with that, me and this girl at my job, we were going through some sample size scents, not any that you had sent me, but some samples that I had. And I'm like, oh, I've been having this, but I never smelled it. I opened up and I smelled it. I was like, blown away. And she was like, oh girl, that's for a man. I said, I don't think so. I said, it smelled like it's for a woman. And she was like, so we went to Googling it, and it had men and women, but the pink bottle that I had the sample size for, it was for women. And she was like,
It's
oh,
for
I
women.
don't like that. And I was like, I am in love. Like, I absolutely loved it. And for me, it was love at first sniff for Born Aroma. I Want You, Givenchy Irresistible, um uh come on, brain, and La Vie est Belle by Lancome. Love at first sniff. Like, you could not tell me that, like, you didn't have to sell it to me. I smelled it and I'm like, yeah, this is it, this is the one. And some of them I've, purchased just because I'm like, oh, I want to treat myself to something. And I don't like to buy too many from the same brand or house or whatever. Like, so if I
Right.
have
Right.
Givenchy, I'm not going to get another one. I would rather try a different person versus buying the same, because most times their DNA is pretty much the same. There's that hint of, oh, this brand. I can tell because that DNA is still like that undertone. So I like to try different designer fragrances just to have a variety, as well as to have a different set of DNA within my collection.
Okay. Well, with that being said, what do you have more of? Do you have more of designer, or do you have more of niche fragrances?
Well, if we considering like the Middle Eastern scents niche? Is that considered niche?
Yeah, anything I think that you can't get
You
in,
can't get it
like, you can't
those
get,
stores.
you have to either go online and get it, or you have to go to the high-end stores and get it. That's what I would consider
Oh,
niche.
so I definitely have more designer than niche.
Mm.
Uh,
Really?
yeah, it may be what and what. I'm gonna have to go through it and see. I think it may be what and what. I honestly
That
think
is
I may be
interesting.
towing the line of both. Like, they're right.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember one video you did, and you did a fragrance haul, and it was of, I think, some company that you had partnered with, and they sent you like a whole bunch of different
Oh yeah.
samples, a whole bunch of different, I think it was like a whole bunch of different Middle Eastern scents.
Yeah.
And even though, like, do you still have those, and do you
Yes.
still enjoy the
Yes.
smell of them?
Yeah, so the company was, what's the name of the place that you go to in Texas, the to get all your scents from? It's a fragrance store. You talk about them.
I go to, oh, the scent
Scent
room.
house,
Is it
scent
the
room.
scent room? Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they are this place that sent me that stuff. It's like a fragrance warehouse. So it's a store where you can go in and you can buy your Jimmy Choos, you can buy your Calvin Klein, or you can buy your Valentino. You can buy all of these things from there. And they literally
Hmm.
stack to the ceiling with boxes and boxes of the gift sets or bottles and all of that stuff. So they
Oh.
have all of those, and it's in Texas. And what they did send me was, it had a lot of body sprays, like perfume mist, but they had them labeled as like hydrating. And so I put them in my bathroom because I put them on after the shower. And
Hmm.
yes, I do still wear them, and it is a very unique scent, very, very unique scents that are true to the name. Like the oud, it was, but Arabian, Middle Eastern, they put their foot in stuff. Like, they use the best of the best for their things. So
I
even though
agree.
this was a body mist or a fragrance mist, it's hydrating. And something else they label it as, and I'm like, what kind of body spray is hydrating? But it does not leave your skin dry. You can still see it kind of like on you. And it's not oil based like a perfume is really a mist, but you can tell that there's enough oil quality something in there that it does leave like a slight residue. Not residue as where it's going to rub off on something, but you can see your skin is actually hydrated. So yeah, I do still
That's
wear it.
interesting.
Yeah.
I've never, well, one, I've never experienced anything like that type of scent or whatever, or that,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it's like a mist, like a hydrating mist or whatever, and it keeps you
Yes.
hydrated. That is something. a lot, especially when it comes to like Middle Eastern scents, like the oud scents and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
frankincense and all those things. Like people don't really, a lot of times, people don't really gravitate towards those
No.
because it does take a special type of person to wear it, especially if it's like a true oud,
Oh
like a
God,
real
yes.
oud.
Oh
Oh man,
yeah,
like
you got to have a special
yeah,
place in your heart for oud, because
right,
it's an acquired taste. It's an
right.
acquired smell. It really is.
It
It's
really is.
and I can admit that, it's definitely not for
Mm.
every nose. And even sometimes when it hit my nose, I'm like, yeah, that's way too much oud. Yeah, no.
And it can last for hours too. Like that's the crazy thing about it, right?
Yes.
These scents last for hours,
Mm-hmm.
and again, sometimes you have to rub them off, like for real, rub them off and things. But okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh. Don't put me on the spot.
If you if you are on your way somewhere very important
Oh, okay.
and you only had a few seconds to grab a fragrance, name
Okay.
name three of them that you're grabbing, and I'm talking about like you're late for $1 million meeting.
Oh, see, now that's what I was
Oh, I
about to
gotta go get
ask
this.
you.
Yeah, like I
What
gotta
type
get
of
this real quick.
event? Okay, so if I wanted to smell like money, like if it's $1 million meeting, I would for sure grab my La Vie est Belle by Lancome, because that's very feminine, very sexy. It's very adult like. It's very flirty, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
not offensive. It's subtle and it's very ladylike. Next, I will grab YSL Libre. I absolutely love it. That is very sexy and it smells like money. It smells like, now who are you and what you do? That's what it's
Right, right, right.
that's what it smells like to me. And then third place, or the third one I would choose, because I do have a top five, but Zara Red Temptation, or Red Zara Temptation. That's the
Look,
Baccarat Rouge dupe, but it's cheap
yep,
and
I know exactly which one you're
but I
talking
get
about.
more compliments with that than any other thing. Like people like, what you got on? And I'm like, oh, y'all think I smell like Baccarat Rouge? Y'all think I got money, huh?
Yeah, I
So
think I got
those are my
money.
top three. Yes, those are my top three.
Oh, well,
I
you
would
got to give me
definitely
the
grab
other
four.
two. You got to
Oh,
give me
so
two more.
then
Then you got
the
a top
other
five.
two is Lattafa Sublime, and that is the dupe for one of the K Alley scents. K Alley is a brand that's
Okay,
sold in like Sephora. It's a dupe for that, and the scent is Eden Juicy Apple that it's a dupe for. So that kind of gives you like a sweet appley type of scent, but not really. It's very sexy to me. And
right.
then Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian, another
Yeah.
Middle Eastern scent. And that one, at first sniff, I was like, what's the hype behind all of this? I didn't get it. I was like, okay. Hopefully you can't hear that music but I was like, I didn't
Okay.
understand the hype behind it at first sniff. I was like, it's cool, but it ain't all that. And I had to let it macerate. So I let it sit for a while, and it was it
Divine.
actually, oh yes, yes. And they said that I did not pick up on the almond that it had in it. But when somebody said the note, I was like, that is like that almondy kind of cherry, deep cherry type of, it's perfect. But yeah, it's good. But it's also one of those Middle Eastern scents. So it's a little bit heavier. So you got to be light when you spray it. You can't spray too much because it'll be offensive. And I don't want to be offensive when I wear something. I want it to be very compliment getting, not,
Right.
how much did you spray? No, I
Right.
don't want
Did
that.
you douse yourself in the bottle? What the hell?
Yeah, that. So those are my
Right.
top five though.
Okay. Okay. That's a respectable top five. Actually, that's a really good top five.
Yeah, let me show.
I've never.
Can I show you the bottles real quick? I did like a
Yep. You
little.
sure can.
Okay, I did like a little collage or a little top five. I actually did a post on it, so I'm gonna just show y'all the
Right.
bottles so y'all can see. I'm sorry, y'all. What you about to say, Eric? I'm
Nah,
so
you good.
sorry.
No, nah, you good. You good. You
It's
good. You good.
ridiculous. But this is it right here. These are my top five bottles. So that's
Oh,
number
okay,
one,
okay.
two, three, and that's the Oud Tonka, and then that's the Lattafa Sublime right there.
Lattafa.
Yeah,
I've been hearing good things about Lattafa. Actually, I've been hearing that they're actually
killing it.
a really good, yeah, really good
House.
fragrance house.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
so are they? Are they? Is it like? Are they like dupe heavy, or do they have like signature scents and everything too?
Yeah, I think that they have a few original scents, and
Okay.
a lot of them are inspired by or dupes, but they you can pay $20 for a bottle and the bottle feels like it's a $300 bottle, like it's heavy, the quality, like the gold etching or gold detail into it, the tops, or just the way that it's the bottle sprays, everything about it is so, I mean, every bottle of Lattafa that I have absolutely no complaints, none
Right.
whatsoever.
Right.
And that's not
Okay.
me following the hype. I legit have bought a lot of blind buys just based on the price alone. And I'm like, well, let's just see what it smells like. $20. And yeah, I have no complaints. The packaging is
Okay.
1,000.
I'm gonna try those then because I've again Lattafa I've never because it's like if I can get the samples of the original
Mm.
fragrances, then why should I go and get a
A,
like a dupe or
a
anything
dupe.
like that? Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I understand though, like because in all honesty, the common knows you're not gonna know the difference.
Yeah, no.
You're not gonna know the difference like at all. Like it's one of those things where you're like when you said earlier, like how I think it's called Red Temptation,
Yes.
the one that smells like
Rizard.
baccarat, from or the Zara.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, come on, like y'all know I wear yeah, I
Yeah.
have on baccarat top
That
40.
part,
Okay, that's what I got
Yanni
on.
actually has it. She has
She
it.
does.
And when I wore it to church one day, she was like, "What you have on?" And I said, "I have on baccarat." She said, "Seriously?" I said, "Girl, no, I don't have on that." And I told her, she was like, "You smell so good," but she doesn't like it. She purchased it. She doesn't like it, so she lets her son wear it. She sprays it on her son, and I'm like, "Girl, what you
Really?
mean you don't like it?" Yes, and it was one of those things. We were in Dubai and she
Hmm.
wanted to splurge on something. And I ended up I should have gotten Baccarat because it was cheap there. But I ended up buying Tom Ford Electric Cherry and I don't even wear it because the bottle is so small. And I'm like, I spent
Oh
200 plus
man.
dollars for this. I don't want to wear it out.
Oh, oh man, I would have told you not to get that one.
Yeah,
I
I
would have
like
told you
it
to.
though. I just don't,
Yeah, it
I
smells
can't,
good.
I'm not about to spray a 200 and something dollar bottle all day long. Like you
Yeah,
have to
well,
last me.
and that's the thing about Tom Ford. That's probably one of my biggest gripes about Tom Ford, which I love their fragrances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, one of my favorite, actually, my favorite Tom Ford fragrance is not one of the privé ones that you normally like the Lost Cherry or the Bitter Peach or the Electric Cherry. My
Yeah.
favorite one of Tom Ford is called Black Orchard, Black Orchid.
Orchid, yeah.
Yeah, it's primed or it's marketed as a feminine fragrance for for females.
Mm-hmm.
But I wear it all I used to wear it all the time because that was like my signature scent. Like
Oh, really?
that and I still oh man, I still love the smell of that. Like it's divine. And it's only for me because everyone I'll be like, "Hey, what I smell? What you think?" They'd be like, "Oh, it's all right. It's all right." But because I love it so much,
Yeah.
or whatever, I love that scent so much. And I actually used to buy the rollerballs. I need to buy another one. I think the rollerballs are only like $50, so I need to buy one. But
Oh, yeah.
anyway,
I'm gonna have to go and smell it next time I go to excuse me, go to
yeah,
Sephora if they have it, and see what it
right,
smells like. I smelled a
yeah,
few
yeah.
of them, but I really just liked Electric Cherry, and because
Hmm.
I didn't have any cherry type of scents. But I at first sniff again, I was like, yeah, give me that. And then when Yanni told me she purchased um
Baccarat.
Baccarat. Yeah, I was like, girl, and she was like, yeah, it was one something. I was like, what? I should have got that. I paid 200 for this big old, so I mean, a small bottle, and yeah, so
You would
200
have
plus,
paid,
not $200.
yeah.
So.
I think especially for Baccarat, you would have paid about 250, 260 a year for it.
Yeah, yeah, and
It's
it was
it's very
180
expensive.
something there.
Yeah, and for that, and I'm sorry, I feel bad for you for paying $200 for that Liberty bottle of Tom Ford, but
Yeah, I just wanted to treat myself
yeah,
while I was in Dubai, and I really should have splurged and spent money on more of the
or
stuff
more
that is,
fragrances.
yeah,
Mhm.
something that's unique to Dubai, like something that is like, oh well, unless you know our website, you can't get this here, and you know, they really pride themselves on the luxury and the rich and very deep rooted money. Like you look and smell
Right.
like money. I really could have spent that $200 on some of that stuff because I don't even wear it. I'm like, I'm not about to keep spraying this stuff, so I wear it on special occasions.
On special occasions. Yeah, and again, it smells good. And
Yeah.
as I was going to say earlier, my only gripe with Tom Ford is that it does not last long
Yeah.
at all. They 2 hours, maybe 4 hours at the max. Like you have to stretch it out for real because I purchased. I ended up buying effing Fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
The that's one of my favorite ones from, or fucking Fabulous is what they call it.
Yeah.
From Tom Ford. That's one of my favorite ones. Lost Cherry obviously is one of my favorites. Electric Cherry, I really do like that one too.
Yeah.
Um, but but yeah, they just don't last long. They don't last
Yeah.
long at all, and it's frustrating because you're paying over $200 for bottles of something
Yes.
that just doesn't last long.
Doesn't
Which is
last
again,
long. Right.
yeah, which again is another reason why I get
Sorry.
the samples and I'm perfectly happy with the samples.
And I couldn't even return this bottle when I got back to the States because I got it
You got it
engraved.
from them, but yeah.
I got it
Oh
engraved. Because
damn.
it was like a treat to myself. You like, oh,
Yeah.
I purchased this in Dubai. Like, you know.
Right.
So I
Right.
wanted to remember it and I got it engraved. So I couldn't even return it. And I'm like,
I'm pretty
it
sure you
does
can.
not last long though. Yeah. But
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can sell it online to somebody. Like if like a lot of fragrance YouTube Facebook has like a lot of fragrance groups and stuff like that, and
mm-hmm.
they buy and sell fragrances all the time amongst each other. I'm
Oh.
I I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do that. But you know, but they be having some really good deals. Like half a bottle of, I don't know, Neanderthal. There's this fragrance called Neanderthal. Those fragrances normally are around $300 to $500 for Neanderthal. But
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry, not Neanderthal. Strange Love NYC.
Oh.
That's one of the one. Yeah,
By the
the name of the
bond number
company.
9?
The name of the company
Oh,
is Strange Love New York
oh,
City, or
okay, okay.
NYC,
Gotcha.
and they have these different fragrances or whatever, and those fragrances are normally around four to $600 normally.
Jeez
And so
Louise.
they'll be online buying, like people will be online to these Facebook groups or whatever, and they'll spend like $400 for like $300 for a half a bottle, right?
Wow.
Because they want it. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's there's so many. Oh man, there's so many to choose from.
So what do you think about Creed?
Okay. So let me say this. I used to love Creed until everybody started loving Creed.
Yeah.
And so I have two samples from them.
Mm-hmm.
One is called Virgin Island Water, which is like that's probably my favorite summer fragrance. Virgin
Mm-hmm.
Island Water. And what was the other one? Aventus.
Oh, Aventus by
Creed
Creed,
Aventus.
yeah.
I hate Aventus. I hate it with a passion. I hate the
Well,
scent of it.
and let me tell you, I think I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say was the reason why I hate it is because so many people think that is like that's like the litmus test, right? When it comes to like expensive, perfect fragrances, and to me, it's not.
It's so
It's not.
sexy though to hear when a man has on Creed. It's so sexy. It is just.
Mm-hmm.
It really. For me, Creed does what Cool Water used to do when I was younger.
Yeah.
You smell a man with cool water on, and it was like, whoa, like what happened?
Right.
That's a man. Like that's a man.
Right.
But you know how earlier you were talking about Dior and Chanel.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are like the I guess most common men's scents now. And I think that's why my friend doesn't like it. Cause I'm like, you've had scents similar to this before, but you don't like Savage, like you don't like it. Like I just thought that was weird. I'm like, it's only because I think everybody else is wearing it, or you know, he's just like, yeah, no, I don't like it. And I'm like, it legit smells good though. But I'm a sucker for, you know, unisex scents, and I'm a sucker for a man that smells good. So I like it. I absolutely love it. I think that I mean, see me. I'm not the name person. Like, yeah, it don't have to be as long as you smell good. And it just so
Right,
happens
right,
that Dior smells good, and it just so happens that a Creed Aventus smells good to me, to my nose. To my nose, they
right.
smell good. And it's like if a man walked by with that on, he's definitely gonna get a double take. Like, sir, what are you wearing? What are you wearing, sir? And why you
Right.
came out the house wearing that? Not in a bad way, like.
like
I would keep
like
you
who
locked
are
up in
you
the
working
house
for?
if you was
Right,
my man wearing that. You're not going nowhere. You turning heads on
right.
here?
Well,
Yeah.
and I will say, Angie, like that is one of the things I do know. A lot of times, guys buy things for women, right? They buy
Yeah.
things
As
because
they
they know
should.
women will notice them, right?
As they
Right?
should.
Because I mean, look, let's keep it real. Women are the real tastemakers when it comes to everything. Like, when it comes to music, when it comes to fragrances, when it
Let
comes
him
to
cook.
restaurants. I'm just saying, like, I was having a conversation with my friend about that just yesterday, like about how when it came to I was having a conversation with my little brother because he just put a song out, and he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "What you think?" I said, "Well, as long as the women love it, that's all that matters." He said, "Because men," I said, "Because men buy stuff based on what women love."
Yeah.
Often. Now I ain't gonna say all the
Yeah.
time, but often that's
Yeah.
what
It's
happens.
very few men that, take their own path and do what they want to do, not for anybody else.
Yeah,
But the majority,
right. Yeah, I mean, they do it for a woman, and
yeah.
so like men will buy the Creed Aventus, men will buy the Dior Sauvage. They'll
Mm-hmm.
buy that because they know that women love that,
Yeah.
and which I don't have a problem. Again, I don't like the Aventus one. I It just doesn't really hit well on my skin. Like talking about it, it smells funky to me. Like after a certain amount of time, like if I wear
Really?
yeah, if I wear it for like I'll wear it in the summer or in the springtime, right? Because I know that's one of the best times to wear that particular one.
Yeah.
And so I will wear it in the springtime, and about an hour or so, I start to smell like I'm smell musky. Like, man, what the hell is this? Like, what's going on? But
Okay.
that's always been my thing with that particular with Creed Aventus. Now
Okay.
the Virgin Island water,
Mm-hmm.
hands down, summer scent. I can rock that all day. Like even the what is it? Not the Irish Tweed. The dang, what is the other one by Creed? It's another one by Creed that I really like too. But the Aventus for men, it don't click. Now, what I will say is the Aventus for women,
Oh
the
yeah.
Aventus for her,
Yeah.
that is probably one of my top 5 favorite
I think
females
is it
scents.
Wildflower? Is one of them Wildflower? I think it's a white
No,
bottle. Is it the white one? The
it's a
white
white.
bottle?
Yeah, it's a white bottle. Yeah,
I
it's a
think
white
that's
bottle. Yeah,
Wildflower, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. It smells
Yeah, I smelled
so
it.
good.
Yeah,
It
I
smells so
smelled it.
good, and so I do
I
like
give you
that one.
that. Yeah, no, it smells
Right,
good.
but
So let me ask
but
you. I'm
mhm.
sorry. There's
No,
a
go
little
ahead.
bit
You
of
go
a
ahead.
delay. I'm not talking over you. I think there's just a little bit of a delay. I'm sorry,
Nah,
y'all.
nah, you good. You good, homie.
So what's your top three? And if you have five, give me your top five. If you had to rush out the door to go somewhere very important, very exclusive, very elite, top of the line,
Elite. Okay.
yeah. What are you grabbing? What are you reaching for?
Let me see. In this container of mine.
In your
Well,
goodie bag,
okay.
huh?
Right, my goodie bag. Right. Okay, I can give you 5.
Okay.
My number one fragrance of all of the ones I have in here, my top fragrance would be Portrait of a Lady by Frederick Malle.
Okay.
When I tell you, and again, that one is designed, it's for women, but it's like it's a unisex fragrance or whatever. I feel you can wear that fragrance day in, day out, 24/7. It's 7 days a week. You can wear that. It's a signature scent. That's my favorite one. Not by I did say hands down, but no, but not by a long shot. Number one is that one. It's scent of rose, and I just love rose. I love the scent of rose, but it has rose and it has other things in it too. But that's one of them. The second one which is one that I just recently found, which I'll do a review on that one,
Mm-hmm.
called One Umbrella for Two
Okay.
by it's called One Umbrella for Two by Floriku. When I tell you, yeah, this one, man. Okay. Number 3, is Bibliothèque by Byredo.
Okay.
That one, okay, so that one I was with a friend of mine, which I'll talk about this on the video. I'll break it down a little bit more. But when I was with a friend of mine, and she said, "Where you going smelling like you got $1 million?" And I'm like, "That's the goal. That's the
Uh-huh.
goal." And she was like, "No, I'm for real. Like you smell like wealth." And I'm like, "Well, thank you, thank you." So
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of my favorite signature scents. One of my favorite fragrances, Bibliothèque by Byredo. Number 4 is
There
Triumph
was
of Bacchus.
okay.
Oh,
I was getting ready to say there was one that you talked about on a podcast a couple of years ago, and I
mhm.
think it was something with the word blue or something in it, or maybe it was like
Yes,
you,
yeah.
and you were supposed to send me a sample, I think, or you were supposed to next time I saw you, you were supposed to bring it
I was
with you
gonna
so
give
I
you the
could.
sample. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yes.
don't remember the name of it.
That one is called "This Is Not a Blue Bottle"
That
by
one.
Histoire des Parfums. Yeah, I loved that one until I stopped loving it. I
Gotcha.
think that was one of the ones that it was just like it smelled good for the moment
Mm.
because because this is around the time I just started kind of getting into the niche fragrance journey a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years ago, about a year or two, maybe 2 years ago or so. And so and I just started getting into it or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I love it. I love it. I smell so good. And then next thing you know, I start smelling other stuff and then other stuff and then
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. And so now this one is kind of on the bottom of the rung. I have a review for that one too that I'm gonna do,
Okay.
which yeah, but that one was a good one too. Triumph of Bacchus by Argos. Again, it smells like sophistication. It smells like you are wealthy, right?
Okay.
That one is that one. Yeah, it's again. Oh, it smells good. And the last one right now, because I just smelled it recently, is Milk by
By
Commodity.
commodity?
Milk, the milk, not the milk minus or the milk plus, just the regular
Just the
milk.
regular milk. Yeah. And when
Yeah.
you gave me those sample size scents, that was the one that I liked. I did not like the plus or minus. The
Mm.
regular milk smelled really good. Really,
Smells
really
really
good.
good, right?
And I think one of the moss ones smelled it was a man scent, but it's I loved it. I was like, "Oh yeah,
You
this the
loved
one." Oh my
it. Right.
goodness. Yes.
Right. And yeah, that one is a really good one, the milk one. And for those who don't know, when it comes to they do something a little bit differently. They only have like 6 different fragrances, but they come in 3 different concentrations. So like you'll get a minus, and then you'll get a regular, and then you'll get a plus of the milk, of the paper, gold, and stuff like that. I'll talk about it in a video, but yeah, milk. The milk is one of my favorite ones. Like it smells so good, and I think it was one of the ones. Again, that's just one of my personal favorites. I will give an honorable mention though. I had one on today, and at first I didn't like it,
Mm-hmm.
but then as it began to dry down, I said, "Oh shit, oh shit!" And that one is called "Bee" by Zoologist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, and it's the thing about Zoologist is all of their fragrances are taken after like a certain animal, right? So you'll
Mm-hmm.
have like whale, you not whale, I'm sorry, you'll have like um a bee, you'll have monkey, you'll have like all the different like lion and stuff. Is
Yeah.
all of them are based on like different, like you'll have a squid one, there's a squid one that smells like the ocean, and all of them are
Really?
all of them are representative of what that actual animal may
Animal.
smell like, right?
Yeah.
Um, actually, I bought 2 of them from there, and I bought one was called B, which is one of my honorable mentions again, and the
Mm-hmm.
other one was called uh macaque. Macaque. I don't know what that is. I think that's a
That.
monkey. I
Oh.
think that's a monkey. Macaque.
Okay.
Um, Fuji apple, which I've never even smelled this one. Let me try this one real quick.
Okay.
Since we up here, you know,
And
a
quick
little.
question: do you still have the bergamot by commodity that I sent you? Was it bergamot that I sent
It
you?
was yes,
Or
yes,
what?
I do.
What?
I sure do.
You
It was
still like it,
bergamot.
or how? I just,
I don't. Yeah,
it was confusing.
no.
Like I liked it at
Yeah.
first sniff, and then it would dry down, and I'm like, oh, I like this better. And then at first sniff, I
Hmm.
didn't like it, but I still like the dry down. I'm like, oh no, I don't like the journey. I don't. It. I wasn't
Yeah.
feeling it.
I mean, it was cool. I liked it, but then again, as it's okay, but as I this okay, I think it's called macaque, 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 Fuji apple, and I think a macaque is like a monkey or something like that, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
called that Fuji apple. This smells freaking amazing.
Really?
Yes, this is definitely leaning more masculine.
Okay.
But I can smell the apple right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
It has a little bit of a animalic scent to it, or profile, like, and I'm kind of getting into animalic scents right now too.
Yeah.
You can kind of smell it on the back end or whatever, kind of like a not kind of like like fecal, like stuff like that, kind of like poo, but it's not a strong case of poo. But it smells like
No.
yeah. Anyway, it smells or
Well,
actually smells good.
I think that
I'm so stupid.
I'm trying to
I'm
get
so
over
silly.
the fact that you said fecal and it smells good. Like it just
Yeah, like
how
it
do those
does.
two things go together? But
I
it
don't know.
also it makes sense though, because if you get into humans and male and female,
Pheromones and all that.
yes, like you be like, oh no, I need to go in. They're like, no, you smell.
I love the way you smell. Like, yeah, you smell natural, right? That's what
Yes,
they say. You smell
and it's
natural.
like, no, I got to go get some zest. I don't use zest. I use
Right.
dial, but I got to go put some of that on. They're like, nah, you good just the way you are.
No,
Like, just let's lay here.
give me that. Yeah, give me that scent right there.
That's what that came to mind when you said fecal, kind of like poo, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, yeah, it
How does
does.
it go?
You
They
know what's
don't
funny
go
about
together.
that? They don't go together.
But as humans, there are
mm,
things that our nose attracts, like, and it smells good
right.
to us. It ignites something in us that's like, yeah, I like that. And
Exactly.
it may not be the best to somebody else, but it goes, like those things that you were naming, it goes together. It meshes well.
It goes
so.
right. And that's the cool thing I do like about this one, is that it does. It again, it's not a bad scent at all. It smells really good, but it's not like I've smelled some really terrible fragrances, right?
Yeah.
Like there's one which I want to ask you after this.
Okay.
Okay. I have two fragrances that I can name, right off the bat, that I would be perfectly happy if I never smell these fragrances again.
Oh.
One is called Dead by Night by Strangelove, that company I was telling you about that has like $500-$600 bottles.
Yeah.
When I tell you, like, so the meaning behind it is to smell like death, right? Like you smell like death, and you smell like, like you're dead to the world type deal. When I tell you it smells like, and I've never smelled a dead body before in my life, but a lot of times people say that dead bodies it has like this really strong funk to it.
Yeah, it's unimaginable. Like, you can't mistake it. Like, there's no mistake it. Yeah.
I would think that this smells like that, and surprisingly, that is one of their biggest sellers. Strangelove's biggest seller is that one right there, because I know, right? Because a lot of people enjoy that scent. It's very extremely animalic scent, right? Where it's like straight animal, like beast.
Yeah.
And the second one is one called Blood, and I remember smelling this one maybe about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you that is probably the absolute worst scent I've ever smelled in my life. Like,
I'm so glad you said that, because I was nervous you were gonna say best.
No, not at all. But the funny thing about it is, I don't even think they make it. I don't even think they make it anymore.
As they
Like,
should.
but the funny thing about it is that the name of it is called Blood. It smells like blood, like literal, like it literally made my stomach turn when I smelled it for the first. I was like, I never heard of this one before. I'm gonna try this one. I smelled it, and I'm like, oh, no, absolutely not, absolutely not. It smelled like blood. It smelled like dried old blood, and it was one of the worst smells I've ever had in my life. But
Oh my goodness.
again, there was a market for it.
Yeah.
You know, so what would you consider one of your worst fragrances ever?
Not any that I've heard. Oh, what worst is a stretch.
Okay.
Worst is a stretch, but I did blind buy something that I absolutely don't like. And it is floor. Ooh, and I wanted it so badly. This girl hyped it up. This lady, and I trust her nose because her nose and my nose, based on the stuff that she has recommended, she's been on point with each one for the things that I like versus things that she like, and they meet. But she said Floor Oud by Cadladge. I think that's how you say the name, Cadladge. And I ordered it, and it was like $47. And I kept trying to wait for it to go on sale. I think the lowest it had ever gotten was maybe $37, but I missed it. And I paid $47 for it, gift card and whatever, still focus. And I smell, and it's oud. I smell the oud, but everything else in it smells synthetic. So it just smells like, it smells like it, you know how you got the new shoe smell, the new car smell, and then for us ladies, how there was the Barbie doll smell, like that plasticky, brand new out there. That's what it gives, but it's not a good one. Like, I love to smell new shoes or the Barbie dolls out of the plastic. I love that smell. But this was more of like a chemical-y type of, like the oud and whatever they mixed with it, it just didn't mesh. And I've been letting it macerate, and I haven't tried it in a while. So maybe if I spray it again, it may smell different.
You may try it again.
And I even tried it with the vanilla, thinking like, oh, maybe if I add the vanilla, this will kind of soften it up a bit. Low battery.
That's okay.
If I soften it up a bit, maybe it would, it would. No, it didn't do it. It didn't do it. Like, even when I sprayed the vanilla on top of it and reversed it, it still, it overpowered it. It just shut the vanilla completely down. It was just synthetic smelling, and I did not like it. Not a single thing about it. And the bottle is still sitting there. Very heavy bottle, very beautiful bottle. It's just not, it is not it. And so I wouldn't say it's the worst because I've worn it. I still, I paid for it. So I'm like, I wear it and thinking that throughout the day it'll. So I guess I could sell it, but I like my collection, I like it to look, but I don't know.
To look good, right.
I don't think that it's probably not the worst. It's just not good at all. And I would probably never reach for it. Never.
Right. Well, I mean, I could scratch that off the list then, because I was going to ask you to give me some recommendations on something. But if that's not one that you're recommending, I definitely don't want it.
I would go and get the bottle and show it to you, but it's a pretty bottle in it. But I also got it from Amazon, so I will give credit to the lady, because she has not steered me wrong. Maybe because I did not buy directly from the site, maybe it was it's a Amazon little knockoff, because if you don't pay attention, Amazon
you have knockoffs.
You'll have a knockoff and wouldn't know it. Like, you would think that you got the real deal, and it's like, wait a minute, you go back and look at the seller, you go back and look at the bottle, and it's like, I didn't even pay attention. This one say Jumanji, and it was supposed to be Jermaine. Something.
Right.
You didn't, so it kind of like if you. Well, I don't know. I doubt that you do TJ Maxx and Marshalls and all that. But when I go, I always go over there to smell to see if I can find a niche fragrance. And I go and smell, and you'll see these bottles that are just like the BKR, Baccarat Rouge, BR 540. You'll see these bottles that say Better Rouge 540 or Bearcat 540, and they look just like the bottle. So you will buy
Oh
it thinking
man.
you getting the, and it's like, no, baby, that's not that. So I think that's
Right.
probably what it is, because I legit trust this lady's nose. She hasn't steered me wrong except for with that one, and that's one of her top go-tos. So it's like I
Go
might have to
tos,
go
yeah.
to the site and try my luck again, but then I'll be peed off if I buy it and it's
If you
the,
buy it,
oh,
right. Right.
so I'm gonna just leave it alone for now, and I'll wait till I get another gift card or something.
Okay, well, okay. So now I do want to ask you this last question,
Okay.
because we talked about, the top five, our top five best. We talked about like one of the worst or whatever. But now, what would be the one fragrance that you recommend for people to buy, and
Oh,
why?
that's a good one. That is good. Oh, people in general, male or female, just
Doesn't
a
matter.
scent in
Unisex,
general.
yeah, yep. What would be the one that
Hmm.
you recommend if you were a sales agent or a sales rep and you say, "Hey, I recommend you get this." Which one would it be?
Okay, I would have to go with La Vie est Belle by Lancome. I would have to
Okay.
go with that one because the times that I have worn it have been like date night or just a girls' night out or whatever. But I feel is when I'm sexy. It's when I'm dressed up. I'm, everything is done. I'm cute. And I put it on and I wake up the next day after being, a little tipsy or something, and I can still smell it. And I'm like, girl, oh, you went out there smelling like that? Like, I just
Mhm.
feel. So for the woman, I would say yes. And then for the man, if he wants it to get it for his woman, I would say that would be my top. It really is a
Your number
nice
one.
scent. And it was gifted to me. I
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I put a list together of some scents that I had heard about that were really good, and that was one of the one YSL and Lancome, La Vie est Belle by Lancome or Lancome, and he got it for me, and I was like, oh wow, this really smells good, and wore it, took off the dress, and when I went to go put it in the dirty clothes to get ready to wash it, caught a whiff. It
Still
was
on
still
you.
on the clothing, and it was still on me, and I'm like, what? And
Mm.
you, after you shower, it'll come off. It's not that long lasting.
It's
But
not
if
that long.
if
Yeah.
you have a late night and you don't shower after you get in and you just fall off to sleep because you're tipsy, if you just fall off to sleep when you wake up the next morning, your sheets smell
Right.
like it, your pillowcase smells like it, but it's a pleasant scent. It's not overpowering. It's really that's a grown ass woman scent to me. That's what I get.
I
So
love it.
that
I
would be
love
the
that.
one I would suggest. Yeah. What
Okay.
about yourself?
Okay. Okay. So for me, I would say, and for some reason, this I wanted to add this to my top five, but I have forgot about it. But as I'm talking to you, and you had said something, and it just immediately made me think of this one. I think this is number two of my top five.
Okay.
Babycat by YSL.
I've Lattafa has a dupe for that.
They have a dupe. Yep, they have a
Yeah,
dupe
I
of it.
heard
Yep.
about that. I heard ladies comparing it. I'm like, baby cat, let me go and look this up. And I
Let me tell you
never heard
something.
of it. I'm
Let
gonna
me
buy
tell
the
you
dupe.
something. Yep, male or female, you that is perhaps one of the best. And this is by they call it the YSL Privé collection or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Collection Privé or something. Privé Revo section, something like that. But I got a sample of this one because this is one of the ones that a lot of people were raving about or whatever. And I'm like, man, whatever. Okay, whatever. But no, that Angie is the real deal. It
Okay.
is, yeah, that is, it's called YSL Babycat.
Baby cat. Yeah,
That
I've
one
been
is a
hearing
really
about it.
good, yeah, it is so good.
So
Uh,
go ahead.
I was just going to say it's so good and it lasts a long time. It's perfect for for the evening. Like, if you like in your like red for black dress or red dress activities or whatever,
Yeah.
perfect. Your man gonna keep smelling you the whole night. You can be like, damn, you smell so good. Like it smells. And again, the cool thing I like about Baby Cat is that it's for men and for women. It's unisex.
Yeah.
Anyone can wear it,
Well,
and
I'm gonna
you're
love
going to
that.
get compliments. You're going to get compliments. Yeah, try the Lattafa one and see. And I'm pretty sure it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
But even if you don't, you can go straight to Decan X and get the sample. The sample I think is like maybe $10, $10 or $15 or whatever, or the decan of it, and trust me, you're gonna smell so good for so
They
long.
the ladies that I watch that have, they have their whole background is filled with, scents. They got
Scents and
high
stuff, yeah.
end, low end, Middle Eastern, niche, all of those, and they talk a lot about the original, which is the founder, I guess, of a certain scent, and then they'll
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, the dupe, I prefer this over the original. And I'm like, so wait a
Okay.
minute, how you have the original and somebody came in and did it better than the original? So when they say stuff like that, Bearcat, what is it? Babycat.
Babycat. Mm-hmm.
Babycat was one of the ones that I think they said that Lattafa, I'm gonna have to go back and watch a few of those videos, but I think they said that Lattafa nailed it with it. Like they really hit it on the
Okay.
spot with the Babycat. And if you didn't want to spend the X amount of dollars, that would be the perfect dupe to get. So I'm gonna look it up and see. I'm gonna go and see now. I said I wasn't spending no money, but I would. If you are saying that the man is gonna be like, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna try the Lattafa
Get it,
first,
try it.
and then I'll go to
Okay.
Decan X and try that as well.
And you know what? I'll actually do it with you. So I'll go to the Lattafa website and I'll order it as well. Like, let me know which one it
Which
is,
one
and
it
I'll
is?
order it as well.
Okay.
And then I'll compare the two. I'll actually do a
Okay.
comparison on here to
Oh,
see
that's
which one is
good.
better.
And then I can
Yeah.
come back and say, okay, I have the decant and I have the original, and here are my thoughts. Okay,
Here are my thoughts. So yeah.
that'll be a thing for us to do. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. I think that's a
Gotcha.
good idea. I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
Okay.
So Angie, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been an hour and 30 minutes because
Lord.
we took a break earlier.
Lord. I know, right?
But this is how we do, like, and hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully the sound is okay and hopefully the quality is okay. But we could go all night long talking, and it doesn't, every topic, if it's money,
Yep.
if it's being a creative, if
Yep.
it's, I mean, no matter what it is, Eric, we have proven that we can talk about whatever, literally
Right.
whatever.
Right. Remember that conversation we had about being an empath, and that was just an impromptu conversation.
That literally.
I'm like, yo, like because I if I recall, like I think we were just kind of like talking or whatever, and I was like, you know what, let's record it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it a little bit more or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I think that was like an hour long, like 45 minutes to an hour long, and I'm like, just talking about being an empath and how connected you are to people and stuff, and it's just we could talk, we could talk about stuff like this all the time.
And this is off topic, but this is on topic with empath. And when I tell you that this Angela now or this Angie now, oh, she's even more sensitive. I don't even know what's going on. And I think because I did want to hone in on that sensitivity and picking up energies and stuff, like I think that I've done it unintentionally, because it's almost as if I predicted before it even happens, because the energy is that heavy or loud or whatever. And I don't know. But I'm happy though. It's just a level of discernment now that I have now, that I think that it has taken me to another level. So, but yeah, we can't talk for
Which is
hours
always
and
good.
hours. It is. It's definitely good.
I do want to come back and talk about that though. I want to come back because, when it comes to Sunday sideways on the couch or whatever, it's not always about fragrances and stuff like that. We just happen to say, hey, let's talk about fragrances, but I do want it to be a lot more conversational or a lot more intimate, when it comes to like the conversations that we have and stuff. Like not too long last week or whatever, I did one on, just a creative and just in the book that I'm reading called The Artist's Way, right? And so I want to talk about things like that and just talk about like, the mind, like what it takes to be a creative, what it takes to be an empath and stuff. And it's kind of like, it'll kind of be an extension of the, the podcast that I had or whatever, or it'll be similar to the podcast that I had, but it'll be like, so fragrances will be throughout the week, and on Sundays, it'll just be conversations about stuff, you know? And I think that would be the best way to get people to understand who I am and to know who I am, and to also be able to hang out and have conversations with really good people like you. And, and just talk, just converse and just have a blast an
Oh
hour and a half
yeah,
later.
a
You
hour and
know,
a half later. My goodness, but I enjoy every bit of it though. So I'm gonna go
I do
in
too.
there now, and I'm gonna start sniffing some things because why not now? But actually, what
Right.
I am getting ready to do, because I'm going to South Africa in 2 days. I leave Wednesday, and
Nice.
I have these small bottles, the little decant size bottles, or the 5 milliliter, whatever they are. I have those,
Hmm.
and then I have the roller bottles. So I'm going to mix um my Palmer's. No, it's not Palmer's. It is Dr. Teal's. I'm going to mix my oil and then spray some fragrances in there to bring them with me so that I can do the whole
That's smart.
oil. Yeah, and
Yep.
I've been wanting to mix it, but now that time's winding down, I'm getting ready to leave. I have to actually do it tonight. So I'll be doing that tonight. I have like 6 bottles. Well, it's like 12 because I have the sprayers and then I have the rollers. So I'm going to mix
Right.
that tonight with my oil so that I can bring them, and the scents that I can have my little, little sample size scents, and then
Hmm.
the little roller bottles with the oil so that they can last a little bit longer. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's been great. I can't wait to talk to you again, Eric. Because
Yo,
we're gonna
we
keep on
gonna look. We
talking.
gonna talk again.
Yes, we
I
sure
know,
will.
right? We definitely will. And again, I thank you so much. You know,
Oh,
I'm
no
actually gonna
problem.
steal that idea. I'm gonna steal that idea from you too. I'm gonna probably do the same thing. Like get like you said, Dr. Teal's oil.
Yeah.
Is that the oil you get? Okay.
Yeah. Can I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna show you real quick. Hold on one second.
Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay.
And while she's grabbing that, y'all, I do want to talk a little bit about this conversation to kind of extend on what I was saying. You know, the idea of Sunday conversations or Sunday sideways on the couch conversations is more of a just being able to have these amazing intimate conversations with you about who I am. And although sample size sense is particularly for scents and for samples and fragrance reviews and stuff like that, I want it to be a little bit more than that. I want to be able to showcase who I am to you guys. So that's the reason why we're having these conversations, and I'll have more interviews coming up along the way too. So be on the lookout for those, y'all. Yeah,
10%.
10%.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm gonna
good?
be
You
quick.
good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a hack that I learned from TikTok. So this Dr. Teal's, the shea butter and almond oil, this one with
Okay.
a
Okay.
fragrance, or actually vanilla extract, the food, that with this.
Really?
And then also a vitamin E oil, just a regular vitamin E oil. And I got this from
Okay.
Dollar Tree. And then your
Okay.
scent. But these are so that's the little small little spray bottles. And then these are the roller bottles where you can't really see it. And it's going to make a whole lot of noise. But yeah.
That's all
So
right.
yeah, with that. So just a regular vitamin E with your fragrance, and
Mm-hmm.
that'll last long. Or you can do the Dr. Teal's with the vanilla extract or almond extract, maple extract, all of those. Or you can put the fragrance scent with that as well.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
I am definitely 100% going to try that. Where did you get the sample, the little samples from? Amazon or?
These Shein and
Okay. Okay.
Amazon has them as well, but they're cheaper on Shein. I
Okay.
know, you know.
No, I mean,
You know,
hey, we got to get it. We got to
we
get it.
gotta
So,
get it. Yeah. So yeah.
but
Yep, the little
all
small
right.
bottles.
Well,
Yep.
okay. I see those. Yeah, I see those.
These are
And
the
let me see
spray
the
ones, and
rollers.
then this not the
Oh,
rollers.
those.
I gotta find the roller ones, but they're taller. They're much taller. It's
Oh,
almost
okay.
like
Okay. They're much taller than that. Okay.
yeah, oh yeah, they're tall. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get that because I think that's a really good idea, especially
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to like extending out your fragrances and stuff like that. If I have
Yes.
like a little roller ball, and like like with the electric cherry that doesn't really last that long, or any like lit labo or whatever,
Yeah.
you can spray some of that into or add some of that into the roller ball, and then you can just kind of like use that throughout
Yep.
the day. That's actually a really good idea.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
See, I be learning all kind of stuff from you, yo.
Oh, there you go. I'm just trying to return the favor. I owe you a lifetime of favors. Trust me.
Right, right, right. Now you good, you good. But thank you once again, Angie.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for having me, y'all.
So
This is
now,
sincerely Angie.
where can they find you? Tell them
And
where they can
y'all
find
can
you.
find me at sincerelyangiem.com, or you can find me on at Sincerely Angie on Instagram, Sincerely Angie M on Instagram. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's Sincerely Angie M everywhere. And that's
Okay.
and it's always linked everywhere. Like if you go to the website, you'll find the Instagram. If you go to Instagram, you'll find the website. So
You'll find a
yeah.
website. Perfect. Thank you so much again. Until the next time, y'all, this is Eric, and I am signing out with Sample Size Sense. Peace.